So much like the SOP, the CV is a component of applications that you would have to submit, or you would likely have to submit depending on the program. So this is something that you should make sure is done well. It's probably in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't move the needle too much, but it's somewhere where you can lose. It's one of those things where you can lose points at least more easily than you can gain points. So you should avoid losing points in the CV by making sure that it's formatted well, it gives the right information, things like that. So kind of to fix ideas, what should be in a CV? Many of you may know all of this already, but as a reminder to all of us, you should have obviously your identifying information, your name, where you live, your phone, your email, things how you can be contacted. Your education in reverse order from the most recent to the list to the oldest, giving the relevant details about the degree, the major, the institution, date of completion, depending on the country and the school, maybe the grades and things like that. If you have had done some written work, some extensive written work, such as a dissertation, a thesis, you should put the title and a short description, a very short description, 1-2 sentence of that in the CV. You should clearly state your area of your research interest, your area of focus, your area of competence, and this can be anything from teaching interest to expertise in some research capabilities. You should obviously mention your experience, depending on the type of experience that you've had. This can be research experience, teaching experience, professional experience. If it's too much, you can probably think about dividing those into different buckets. If you have received fellowship awards, honor, this is obviously a great place to mention those. You should mention the date, the type of award, the monetary amount if applicable, things like that. And you have these additional things if you are part of any network that you think is worth mentioning. This is you can do so here. If you've had a position in those affiliation, you should mention it here. Key to kind of going back to qualification, if you have any skill that's relevant to what you're applying for. So this can be software that you use, this can be languages that you use, this can be data tools that you have been exposed to. You should mention those because those can be relevant for the type of work that you could be doing. Obviously, if you have publication or presentation, you should make sure that that's screamed out of the CV. That's super important, probably more important than any of these here. So you should give the full list of co-authored publication, presentation that you have done in the past, and that will buy you a lot of points for your with your application. If you have other things that could be relevant, references, dissertation, abstract things that you think might contribute to the reader understanding who you are. So that's, those are the components of a CV. Obviously, it's going to depend on what is it in here that you have had. Maybe you haven't had a professional affiliation. Maybe you don't have, any fellowship. Maybe you have a lot of experience, so you should structure it accordingly. Yeah, maybe we can go to, an example to make it concrete and gain some time. So as you can see in this example, most of what we have just said is here. So the name, the education, the experience, many different experiences, the leadership or the affiliation that this person has had, and then the skill at the bottom. And it's concise, it's one page. So what are the points to keep in mind here or to learn from this example? Typically, we use bullet points instead of paragraphs. So that's to get to the concise point. People will not have time to read paragraphs. You should make it easy for them. So just use bullet points, as has been done in this example. Formatting is key for CV. You can have the best CV in terms of content. If it's not well formatted, you lose a lot of points. So you should have clear heading that speaks, that even if the person doesn't go to the bullet points, will give the a good sense of what it is that you've done, what it is that you have had in terms of experiences. Make sure that the use of bold, italics, underline, or really any formatting any particular formatting is systematic and consistent. So if you bold, if you put in bold, whatever, for example, here's the location, make sure that you put it, you put location in bold all across the CV, things like that. So make sure that it's systematic, but it's also consistent. Capitalization should be consistent. So here, for example, what's capitalized are the headers, education, experience, leadership. So make sure that all those headers are capitalized and only those headers and skills, I guess, in this case. Align your text, these are basic to many, but we can, it's easy to not, to unfortunately fall into this pitfall. So align your text, use the same font type, basically be consistent. That's, I guess, the general message. There are available resources that you can consult in the web, and 2 of them are